it's easy to convince yourself that you're the exception to the rule, but there are no exceptions to the rule.
Wow.
What you're telling me is you don't actually want this bad enough.
Makes sense. Dude, you're taking me to school. I'm just a student.
It was like the glove fit perfectly.
Wow.
For me.
Thank you for joining us on our Family First Life Tri-State Serve the People podcast. We appreciate you tuning in, spending your time to develop and grow with us. Follow us, please, on all our social media platforms at Family First Life Tri-State or FFL Tri-State. We love you. Keep listening, and I hope this information is serving you across the country. All right, everybody, thank you for joining us on our Family First Life Tri-State Training Day podcast. I got my good friend who's killing it, crushing it, growing every day, and business growing every single month, Joe Basso of Family First Life 320 Solutions. Am I saying that right?
320 Life Solutions.
320 Life Solutions. But clearly one of the fastest growing groups in all of Family First Life. And, I mean, you guys just have so many cool things that you work on day in and day out to continue to kind of grow and expand the business, help your people, put them in a position to win. I mean, we could do this for hours literally, but I'm going to bring you in now because I think it's time. Joe Basso, man, welcome to the podcast. How you doing, buddy?
Mark, thanks so much for having me, bro. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, sir. Well, listen, man, I've seen you quite a bit in the last couple months. You've had your grand opening at your office, which congratulations. On the new space, almost 7,000 square feet down in South Jersey, which is amazing. And, you guys are steadily working on things for this thing to grow, which is, I want to say, that's revolutionary. It's not, but for some reason your deal seems to grow every month. So that is maybe a little different where some people are working on things to get it to grow, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. A lot of the times what you, Caleb, and Gabe work on, it's growing. So I'd love for you to kind of get into your deal, kind of what's happening for you guys and what's been flowing over the last couple months and where you're headed.
Man, first off, thank you so much for the introduction. Dude, it's funny when you look at it from a 30,000 foot view, because I see when I step out what you talk about, like that growth on a month to month. But when you're in it daily, it just feels like we're failing all the time. And I'm just being honest with you, man.
I hear you.
But I wouldn't trade that, Mark, because I think for me that's what keeps us motivated and keeps us hungry. Is that, like, we talk about this a lot, the three of us, Caleb, Gabe, myself. We want to start at zero every day. So, like, we convince ourselves that we are at zero. We have no agents. We have no legs.
Right. We
have no bonus. We have no overall. We have nothing every single day. And I think working with your back up against the wall like that is how we continue to push the envelope, because it's so, like, I'll put it this way, man. We always end up talking about church stuff, but I'll never forget in Sunday school, I was always told, like, it's easy to convince yourself that you're the exception to the rule, but there are no exceptions to the rule.
Wow.
And in business, I've worked with so many salespeople for so long, and I've seen how easy it is to become complacent. And I don't think that I'm above that. I don't think that my partners are above that. I don't think our managers are above that. Any of our agents are above that. So I think we're constantly fighting this fight to stay away from complacency. And I think we talk about how we try to grow every month. It starts with that.
No doubt. And that's very obvious. If you get to know you, it's very obvious that's on your mind. I never heard you say it that way, but it's very obvious, that you are constantly looking for ways to. It's like a fear of a healthy paranoia of not going backwards and moving the thing forward. I agree 100% with, feeling like when you're in it, like you're failing every day because you're looking at the warts, right? And, you walked in on me the other day in a conference. I'm like, hey, dude, we're spending X amount of money. I need to see something from this. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like, we are in this every single day, and it feels like, just you're kind of shooting at a lot of different things at once, and when something's going really well, you're afraid that it won't stay that way, and when something's not going really well, you're trying to revamp it, package it, and get it out. So it's like you're constantly working from this place of like, well, how do we get this thing to go faster?
I love that you said healthy paranoia, because it literally, that's the perfect way to describe it. Like, you're walking around like you just keep waiting for the bottom to fall out. Am I ever going to feel secure? The answer is absolutely not, man. I don't ever want to feel secure, because the second I do, that means somebody else is coming to get what's mine.
Oh, man, that speaks to my soul, So I totally get that. But let's go inside. You say when you're in it, right?
Yeah.
When you're in it, you do see it a little bit differently, but there's things you're working on a daily basis when you're inside of it to try to get the outside of it to look better. So can you talk to me about working from the inside out and some of the things you're doing?
100%. So I think the biggest, every time we get on these calls, every few months, I talk about like epiphanies over the last
That's the way it is.
And that's just the way it is. So like the biggest epiphany that I think I've come to over the last, couple of months, last few weeks specifically, is I can't expect anyone to do anything that I'm not doing. And that's like, you're like, Joe, yeah, that's like 101. I know. But coming to that again, what I mean by that is it's so easy in this business to convince myself that I don't need to recruit people myself, because I got a bunch of recruiters. Mm-hmm. It's so easy for me to be like, hey, I don't need to mentor anyone myself, because I got a bunch of mentors on the team. Mm-hmm. I don't need to take anyone direct, because I'm helping everybody else by stacking them, right? Like I can lie to myself and convince myself of so many different things in this business. And by the way, it's easy to do, because everything I just said, there is good in all of those things. But what's best for me is doing what's best for everybody else. If it's good for them to do, it's good for me to do.
Wow.
And so one of the epiphanies that I've come to is, hey, the fastest way to move this needle is to be in the trenches where everybody else is. And I think I convinced myself for a few months that, hey, I can't be in the trenches and focus on all the other operations and the systems and the automations and all the business structure that now we've built over the last year and a half. But the reality is, soon as I decided to get back in the trenches, ironically, that sparked something in everybody else around us. And by the way, that's just not, I say me, that's Caleb, that's Gabe, that's all of us.
Right.
And so I think, man, in it right now for me means I've got to get back to the basics of doing the things that make this business go and make this business grow. And that's selling life insurance and recruiting people like a freaking maniac 24/7, because why not, dude?
Right.
Like when I think about how many people just in my warm market, let's forget about cold market, and there's so much opportunity there, but just in my warm market, how many people I've still yet to talk to about Family First Life and about the insurance industry. Dude, it's honestly, I get embarrassed when I start thinking about it.
And think about how great this industry is, right? It's like we're so focused on trying to grow that we forget sometimes of everything that makes it grow. I'm guilty of it too. But think about how great the industry is and how much of an opportunity this is for most people that are open to it. If you're open 100%. To it, then it is an opportunity for you. And the opportunity is better than most of the opportunities that we'll come across in our lifetime, from whatever standpoint.
I was reminded, Mark, 2 weeks ago, we've got these managers out in California, John and Claudia. They are so sharp, and they're in it. They're in the grind day to day, and they've got this friend that they've been working on for a year. So there's a lesson in that right there too, right? Like just because it isn't somebody's time today doesn't mean it's not going to be their time at some point.
100%.
They've been working on this guy for a year, and we get on a Zoom call with this gentleman. What's incredible, Mark, is from the outside, you would look at this guy and be like, there's no way he would ever come in and build a business because he's got so much else going on. He's so successful.
Right.
He's got a mortgage brokerage company. He literally owns a bank. He's got his hands in every part of the mortgage business, from A to Z. And you talk to this gentleman and you start to explain the opportunity at Family First Life. And what you realize is we have our hands on something here. It's unheard of. It's genuinely unheard of.
Crazy.
And that is, you build this thing the right way. You structure it the right way. Not only can you build a cash flow machine,
no doubt,
a machine, but you can build something that you could sell, because, dude, we own 100% of our business at Family First Life.
No doubt.
Sometimes I have to remind myself of how good some of these little things are,
right, and
how rare it is in this industry. But we own 100% of it. And if you own 100% of something, Mark, guess what you can do with it if you decide to? You can sell it. And you can sell it for a stupid multiple that you just simply can't do in most other industries. So when you start talking about these sorts of things with other highly successful entrepreneurs, you understand what we really have our hands on and how excited other entrepreneurs get when they hear about what we have.
Yes. Think about yourself, man. You're another entrepreneur who was successful that, as you once said it to me, if the timing wasn't what it was, you might not have been able to give it a second look. But when you looked at it clear as day, you said, wait, say it again? Like you actually needed to double take, triple take, ask more questions, fly guys. You flew Caleb and Gabe in to figure out, wait a minute, just rip this thing apart for me. Show it to me. That's how 100%. Good it is, though.
It's that good. And then I got you on the phone. I'll never forget our first conversation. I remember exactly where I was sitting. I remember it like it was yesterday. And then I flew to Boca and got to meet Sean. And just the combination of all of those things, it was game over for me.
Yeah.
And so there's lessons in that too, by the way.
Right.
Like if you're trying to recruit at a high level, sometimes it's not just good enough for people to hear from you, right? Other voices echoing the same things. And by the way, we're all going to echo the same things because it's legit.
Yeah.
Because it's legit.
Yes,
it's real.
Yes, sir.
Like that's the thing about the truth. The truth doesn't change. And it doesn't matter who's delivering the truth is the truth.
Right.
So when you get people that are successful, or you get people that maybe are doing what you just said, double take, triple take, quadruple take, like they're just trying to wrap their mind around this thing. Getting them around other people that are working hard, that they're going to resonate with, dude, it's game over.
Facts. Now, you, Caleb, Gabe, you guys have produced a lot of big producers. A lot of people in your group helping 30, 40, 50 families a month. Can you talk a little bit about that duplication process, y'all's ability to train it, stay focused on it, not lose sight of it, and put the people on your team in a position to win? So you'd be describing it to me like if someone was watching this and was looking for an opportunity, they'd look at this and go, that guy knows how to get people going. He knows how to get people successful. Can you describe that to our audience?
100%. So let's start with this. Mark, if you're a brand new agent working with 320 Life Solutions, my first step, let's say you're already through onboarding, you're contracted, you're ready to roll. I want to sit down with you first off and figure out what it is that you want out of this opportunity. And I need to meet you where you are first. And because I don't know who you are really, I don't know what you want. Everybody interviews well. Everybody interviews well.
Right.
So I got to figure out, what does Mark want? Do you just want some side cash? Is this a side hustle for you? Are you willing to go all in if the juice is worth the squeeze? And if it is, here's the deal, man. What we do is the simplest thing that I've ever done. It is not the easiest thing. Make no mistake. There's a difference between easy and simple, but it's freaking simple. Like, people are asking for life insurance at a high level. I heard Sean Mike say something the other day that blew my mind. He said that right now we have the ability, right now, today, to produce 100,000 fresh warm leads
a day.
A day, dude. Crazy. Not a week, not a month, a day.
Right. That's nuts.
Like, bro, that's unbelievable, man.
Right. Yeah.
That's 3 million leads a month. Like, dude, we could grow our company times 100 and we couldn't handle that volume of people that need what we have. Right. Like, you think about that, it's mind blowing.
Wow.
So people are asking for what we have. We're not having to go knock on cold doors. Mm-hmm. We're not going business to business. People ask for life insurance.
No doubt.
So when you think about that in and of itself, maybe I'm just like I cold called for so long. It still blows my mind that it's this simple, what we do. So I'm going to sit with you, Mark, as a new agent and say, dude, look, this isn't going to be easy, but it's crazy simple. People ask for what we have. All you need to do, Mark, is prove to yourself that you can do this one time. Because if something can be done once, it can be scaled. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then the real question is, how do we put the numbers in your favor? And then the conversation quite quickly becomes about investment versus return. And it always, bar none, dude, it comes down to work ethic and lead flow. It's that simple.
No doubt.
Because if you've got work ethic and you've got lead flow, you're going to scale this business. Like, you'd have to try very, 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 very hard. If you're willing to invest some money and you're willing to work your butt off, you'd have to try really, really hard not to sell life insurance.
Right.
Like really, really hard, dude. It's a commodity product. It's a commodity. Like, I tell all of our new agents, there's certain things where you say, Joe, that's an opinion. And there's certain things where it's like, no, that's a fact. Well, here's a couple facts. Mark, you're going to die. I'm going to die. And like the 330 million people in the U.S. right now, they're all dying, bro. All of them.
Those are all facts, Joe.
And they're facts. And when they die, God forbid, if it happens tomorrow or if we're blessed and it happens 30, 40, 50, 60 years from now, when it happens, not if it happens, when it happens, they're going to leave their family with bills. Guess how many times that happens, Mark?
Every time.
Every time. Mm-hmm. So because of those facts, people need life insurance. They need it. If they love their family. Now, not everybody does. We've learned that. There are some people that are like, yo, I don't care. I'm going to leave that's a small percentage of people.
Right.
But most people don't want to leave their family with a ton of heartache, dealing with the mourning of their loss and financial stress. That's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. And that's very easy to articulate to the average person.
Right.
They already know it. That's why they fill out the form, Mark.
Right.
So now this becomes a matter of, can I get myself in front of how many people a week? How many people a day? How many people a month can I sit in front of? Because, dude, what I've figured out now that we've got the numbers to look, I think we helped last month. We helped somewhere around 1,600 families, bro.
Wow.
So when you look at the data, that was a 4-week month. The month prior was a 5-week month. We helped out 1,800 families. So when you have that much data to look at, you start to see patterns.
Right.
And here's the patterns. Every single agent on our team that gets enough lead flow and works hard enough to sit down with 25 to 30 families a week, which you might say it's not hard to do, bro. I know you know that. You're the one that taught it to me. But I'm speaking to all the new agents and new managers. If you convince yourself that that's a hard thing to do, you're lying to yourself. And if you're lying to yourself, then you're hurting your agents. Because I genuinely believe anyone can sit down with 25 to 30 families in a week. Anyone can do that consistently.
No.
And what I know is, dude, this is like, I talk about opinion versus fact. This is factual. every agent that we have that consistently sits with at least 25 families or books 25 appointments a week, all of them are helping at least 10 families every single week.
Wow.
And dude, if you're helping 10 families a week, all your other problems disappear, my friend. I don't care what problems you have. If you have debt, that problem's going away.
Right.
If you got confidence issues, that problem's going away. If you're like, hey, I don't know how to build a business. Well, guess what? You got enough money coming into your business that you can pay to play and figure out what you don't know.
Correct.
Like all your problems will disappear if you're helping 10 families a week. That is a fact. I like talking about facts today, dude.
You got me all jazzed up here, dude.
It's true though.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
you're the first person that taught me that in this business, and it's one of those things that'll never get old, and you'll never get tired of helping new agents with these facts,
Right.
because it's the key. It's the key to their freedom. No matter what it is that they're looking for. Some people, look, we can talk about integrity and the integrity opportunity all day, right? That was the right thing to say to me. That's what I needed to hear
Right.
to come in and give this everything. There are certain people that's so far off their radar, that's not the right conversation.
Right.
But if I'm talking to a new agent that has $30, $40, $50, $60,000 in debt from whatever happened before they came here today to this point, I'm talking to someone that says, hey, I've never bought a home. I want a house for my family. Hey, I've got a 15-year-old car with 300,000 miles. I need a new car. It doesn't matter, man,
Right.
what their problems were before they came here today. The key to getting them out of that and into financial freedom is 10 families helped every single week. And how are they going to do that? They've got to book 25 appointments every single week. We shoot for 30, bare minimum 25.
No doubt.
If you're not sitting with 25, guess what you're telling me, dude? Guess what you're telling me? You're not going to say the words because you're lying to yourself. Of course, you're going to lie to me. But what you're telling me is, you don't actually want this bad enough.
Makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Dude, you're taking me to school. I'm just a student. Drooling.
No, get out of here. But you asked how do we have so many people that are writing at a high level? We have those conversations. I'll look someone in the eye and say, "Hey, Mark, I love you." Like, by the way, like it's good to get to the point where I don't need you to help 30 to 40 families a month. Because when you get to that point, I can look at you and say, "Mark, you're not hurting me, but you're lying to yourself and you're hurting you and your family." And that's okay. Like if you're cool living week to week and month to month forever, that's perfectly fine. But I just want you to know you're going to be on that merry-go-round, that carousel ride forever until you make changes in your life.
True. And you know how I did that early just by helping a lot of families, selling all life insurance. From day one, I never had conversations with you about what you needed to do or what you needed to sell or what you needed to, or what could you hurt me? You couldn't, because I'm out there. I was saying this to somebody the other day. I forget who I was. It was probably Shannon. Yeah, and we were in the car, and I'm like, dude, I'm out there helping 60, 70, 80 families a month, no matter what you do. Like, I love you, so I always love you. Hey, I love you, but dude, this is not anything I'm saying is new, and a lot of it's repeat, and none of it's rocket science. So where do you want to plug yourself in at? Makes sense. Now, Joe, I want to ask you, huh?
That's powerful.
Very. That's why this was an opportunity for me, because I come from sales, but I also come from I also was doing MLMs before this, and in an MLM, the only way to make money is to build a business. You cannot sell the product officially and make money. Not any real money, not any money to pay any bills, right? So the only way was through a network, but I wasn't as good at it as some other people. So the thing that attracted me to life insurance was the fact that you can actually sell something while building a business. So I can get paid today for what I do, not what anyone else does, Joe, what I do. And then over time, I can get paid more by helping other people get paid for what they do. that was a that was a backbreaker for me. When I literally saw that, I was like, oh my God. That brought everything together. Sales, recruiting. I was like, no, I can't believe there's a model like this. I can't believe it.
You know why, bro? It's just so powerful when you could look me in the face and say, yo, Joe, I want to be on this journey with you, but my family is good no matter what you do.
Right.
It's in sales, right? If I'm with a client, we call it the takeaway, right?
Right.
This is the takeaway when it comes to building your business. And it's not like you're not playing chicken. It's actually factual.
It's true. Yeah. We're back to telling straight facts.
It's straight facts. like, dude, I'm good no matter what.
Right.
But I want you to be good. And by the way, I want to build this business with you.
No doubt.
Like, don't get me wrong.
100%.
Like, I desire to build this with you, and let's go to we say to the moon, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're like, hashtag I want to go to the moon with everybody on my team.
No doubt.
I truly do.
Mm-hmm.
But if any of them aren't willing to do what it takes, I'm eating steak tonight either way, bro.
And that's the thing about the client side too. I can sit in an appointment with you on the client side, because I have 30 appointments a week every single week, and go, listen, Bob, with all due respect, dude, I'd love, you guys should buy something here, protect your family. You told me A, B, C, and D. Mary would be in a tough position. Mary, you looked me in the eyes and said you'd be in a tough position. But guys, whether you do this or not, I'm not eating steak on this. I'm going to sleep well regardless, guys. I don't need this sale. I do want to work with you guys. I want to put you in a position to protect your family, but I'm not going to lose oxygen if you don't sign this form. I'm just not. And that's rough, dude. Because now it's 100% on you.
It's on them. Which
is great. And that's what activity does, Joe. And that's what you're explaining. Phenomenal stuff. Last thing I want to ask you, because you're now doing a lot of traveling, speaking at events, conventions, and conferences.
Yeah.
What has it been like for you to be able to empower other people with a message that is pretty much straight facts, but also very impactful if they receive it?
I think that the platform that Family First Life has given to so many people, myself included, it's the greatest blessing that I could ever ask for.
Wow.
Because not only are we getting to make a great living and support our families and grow a business and feel that empowerment ourselves, which is incredible, right? But we're able to then replicate that and duplicate that and play just the smallest part in other people's success stories. What else is there, bro? Yeah. Like, you know my story. Mm-hmm. I have a degree in theology. I thought for a very long time I was going to be in full-time ministry, literally giving my life to preaching and teaching and helping other people in their faith. God had other plans for me, at least at this season in my life. Mm-hmm. And to be able to feel that in a different sense while getting to do what I love, which is build my business, bro, it's I can't even put it into words.
It's that good. Yeah.
It was like the glove fit perfectly.
Wow.
For me.
Yeah. I second that, the exact same sentiment too, and I've been experiencing this for years now, but it doesn't get old, as far as there's always new people joining our business. Chicago was a good example of that conference. You got 120, 130 people and a lot of new people, and it's just like you get to see them have those aha moments. And it's still it's one of my favorite parts of this business is meeting people where they're at and trying to get them to move the needle 1 inch. So
I'll say, last thing I'll say on that topic is, I was just thinking about this last night. So it's funny you asked me this question today, but I was thinking about different people on our team that, joined us maybe a year ago, 8 months ago, 9 months ago. Mm-hmm. And to think about conversations that we had then versus conversations that we're having now, to see the growth in myself, to see the growth in them and where they are in their business acumen and where they are in this process. Bro, you talk about like a warm, fuzzy feeling, bro. Like there's nothing better in the world than to see other people growing. And I take zero responsibility or credit for them growing,
Sure.
but to feel like I've got to be on this journey with them. Oh man, it feels so good.
No doubt. It does. And we'll end with that, man. I appreciate you taking the time to jump on. You're always such a wealth of knowledge, and your delivery is amazing. Thank you for sharing. I got a lot out of this. A lot out of this podcast. I think is going to hit our audience pretty well, Joe. So thank you for jumping on with me today.
Bro, you know I love you, bro. Anything for you.
Love you too, brother, man. Thank you so much. Training Day signing off. FFL 320 Life Solutions. Joe Basso in the building. Appreciate you, brother. God bless.